23 horses already. Set for the Melbourne Cup. Signal from behind, and they're racing in the Lexus Melbourne Cup. Explosive Jack away fairly, the chosen one out well, with also Delphi and Pondus over on the far side. Incentivize is about 7th early as they're looking to cross over. Trelleros is also up there with Knight's Order, Floating Artist, Penzance. Out deep, Grand Promenade's not too far away from the favourite. So they're right across the track here as they link onto the course proper at the 400 metres on the first round. Great House with Knight's Order, Floating Artist, Penzance deeper. Incentivizers 6 deep at the moment. Then came Trelleros, Cariff, Grand Promenade. The chosen one checked off heels at that stage. Delphi on the fence, Spanish Mission deeper. And they were followed by Pondus. 2 further back, Verry Elleegant. And then Ocean Billy, Twilight Payment. A gap in the field to Port Guillaume. Explosive Jack Salino, well back Master of Wine, 4 lengths Sir Lucan, and then came Johnny Get Angry, She's Ideal. Miami Bounders last as they reach the first turn. 2,200 to go, and it's Penzance leading. Strolls out a length and a quarter, and Incentivize has got over from that wide alley and sits second, the favourite, one off the fence. 3/4 of a length to Knight's Order, followed by Floating Artist. 2 lengths Trelleros, Grand Promenade's posted 3 deep. Great House, the rails, a length and a quarter. Cariff, Spanish Mission 3 wide with a back to follow as they head towards midway. Then came Delphi, Verry Elleegant, well and truly off the rails. Further back, the chosen one. Then came Pondus, Twilight Payment in the back half with Ocean Billy. Then came Explosive Jack and Port Guillaume, 2 lengths Salino. And then at the 1,600 metres, Master of Wine. Towards the back is Johnny Get Angry. Then Sir Lucan, 2 lengths to She's Ideal. Miami Bound is last in the Lexus Melbourne Cup. 1,400 metres to run. And the leader is Penzance at an even speed by a length. Incentivize, and Grand Promenade travels up 3 wide. Knight's Order a length away 4th. Then came one off the fence as they reached the 1,150, Floating Artist. A length and a half, Spanish Mission, Trelleros, Great House, Verry Elleegant. Then came Cariff, Delphi, Twilight Payment, last year's winners, 10 off the lead. A length and a half, the chosen one, Pondus, Port Guillaume. 2 further back, Ocean Billy, Explosive Jack Salino. Then came Master of Wine well back with Sir Lucan, 2 lengths She's Ideal, Johnny Get Angry. Miami Bound is battling at the end of the field. 800 metres to run, and it's Penzance just in front of Incentivize, who gets a bit closer. Grand Promenade 3/4 of a length away 3rd. Behind those horses then is Floating Artist, given every possible chance. Knight's Order's regressing. Coming around the outside and getting closer is Spanish Mission, and also Verry Elleegant from Delphi. Trelleros under the whip from Great House. It's now taking the lead. Incentivize at the top of the straight. At the 400 metres, a length and a half, Floating Artist. Here's Verry Elleegant. She's coming home. 300 to go. The mighty mare moves up to Incentivize and races on by. Then Floating Artist, Spanish Mission. But Verry Elleegant at the 150, the darling of the turf, has raced clear 3 lengths Incentivize, and it's Verry Elleegant. 10 Group 1s, and now the greatest of them all, the Melbourne Cup. Verry Elleegant wins by 3.5. Incentivize, Spanish Mission, Floating Artist. A gap, the chosen one.
They're off. Trip to Paris jumped well, so did the Offer, and Fame Game being eased in the early part of the race. Away pretty quickly, Who Shot the Barman, Sartorius, Criterion, Max Dynamite not too far away, down towards the inside. They're quite prominent. Over towards the outside, Quest for More is riding forward. Big Orange maintaining his line with Excess Knowledge on his outside, but they're both heading up towards the front-running horses. It's quite a bunch field, not a tremendous amount of speed about in the early part. Fame Game's gone right back. He has about 4 or 5 behind him, and he's outside El Moon Quith. Quest for More had crossed down to the rails, and he has the lead, but they're not going particularly hard. Quest for More being joined by Big Orange. Excess Knowledge out wide on the course. He's posted deep without any cover. Snow Sky Pink Cap is 4th, and they're followed Criterion on the inside, and Trip to Paris gets a nice run. A length and a half, Who Shot the Barman, Max Dynamite, and then Sky Hunter on the outside. About a length and a half further back in the field is Bondi Beach, Prince of Penzance and Grand Marshal. Back behind those horses then is our Ivanhoe on the inside, and then Hocko, Brave, Red Cato, Sartorius, the Offer. About a length further back, Gust of Wind on the inside. They're followed then by the United States and Fame Game, and well back in the field is El Moon Quith. Hartnell the outside, followed by Preferment. And a length away is Kingfisher. He's at the tail end of the field. So they make their way along the riverside of the course now, and the field is being led by Big Orange now. He's out by 2 lengths. Excess Knowledge is second, Quest for More is third, Snow Sky is fourth, and Criterion getting a beautiful trail fifth. A length to Trip to Paris as they make their way by the 1600 metres. Next, Max Dynamite. Posted a little bit deep, then Sky Hunter, followed by Who Shot the Barman, Prince of Penzance. Then came Grand Marshal. He'd be dead set middle of the field at the moment, being followed Bondi Beach out 3 wide, and then our Ivanhoe being followed by Hocko Brave. A length further back is Red Cadeau. With him is the Offer over on the outside as they make their way down the back of the course, and about a length and a half further back in the field then is a Gust of Wind down on the inside. Back behind those horses then is El Moonquith, as a fair way back in the field. Sartorius was outside of Red Cadeau, and they're followed now Fame Game. He'd be 20 lengths away from the leader. They're being followed then by Preferment at the end of the field. Kingfisher is still back last. Hartnell's about third last. Coming up the side of the course, they race before the home turn. Big Orange from Excess Knowledge. A length away then, Quest for More. Trip to Paris. He's working into it on the outside, and so is Snow Sky wide out. Then came Criterion trying to find a way through. Round the outside came Sky Hunter, and Bondi Beach off the track is making ground too. Our Ivanhoe waiting for a run down on the inside as they bunch up around the turn. Now Fame Game, he's got to the extreme outside with the Offer. Big Orange first for home from Excess Knowledge. Snow Sky joining in, and now Trip to Paris is coming. They're followed then by Who Shot the Barman, going for a run on the inside as our Ivanhoe. Coming past the 300 metres, Excess Knowledge went to the lead narrowly. Here's Prince of Penzance coming on down the outside. Prince of Penzance from Michelle Payne. Now Max Dynamite starts to charge home. Prince of Penzance from Max Dynamite. Prince of Penzance, it's history at Flemington. Michelle Payne. Prince of Penzance beat Max Dynamite. Criterion's run third, then either Trip to Paris, Gust of Wind, or Big Orange. The next one's over.
Racing in the cup. The great man Makybe Diva jumped away well. Gray's in, looked a touch slow. Eye-Popper began well. So did Strasbourg. Demerger, Lachlan River away quickly near the inside. Portland Singer away fast down on the inside. Kamsky going over their heels, and so is Like a Falcon. Makybe Diva going to the second half of the field, but has already got over about 2 or 3 away from the rails at the very least. Franklin's Gardens wide out, and Bazell with Mr. Celebrity. They're all going forward as they come past the 400 the first time. He's got Makybe Diva 1 off the rails. And Portland Singer has the lead early in the cup. Not going all that fast, led from Umbula deep around Strasbourg. Mr. Celebrity's out 4 wide, and Bazella's up about 5 wide. Lachlan River in behind them, followed by Eye-Popper, who's well placed down to the judge. Franklin's Gardens is around the Japanese runner. 1.5 further back, then Envoy on the inside of Demerger, and Gray's in with Distinction 4 deep as they leave the straight. Back behind these horses then is Hugs Dancer, who's outside Railings, and then came Vinnie Rowe as they leave the straight from Kinjal. Then Makybe Diva, who's on the rails now. Great piece of riding by Bossy as they leave the straight to the 2000. Honours Earned next, followed then by Rise On, a length and a half to Excellent. Vouvray. Behind them is Dizel. Second last then Like a Falcon. And Kamsky last of all. About 1900 left to go in the cup now. And the leader is now Mr. Celebrity's gone around the field to take up the running by about a length and a half. Bazell is second, Umbula is third. A length and a half further back then came Portland Singer, being followed by Lachlan River. Eye-Popper is next with Strasbourg over on his inside. Franklin's Gardens is out 3 wide. 1 further back is Envoy, Demerger the centre, and Gray's in is travelling wide past the 1600. Next is Kinjal on the inside with Distinction deep around the outside. Railings in the middle. A length and a half further back, Makybe Diva. Back there in company at the 1400 with her is Vinnie Rowe and Hugs Dancer on the outside. A half a length away then on the outside of Makybe Diva came Dizel from Honours Earned. Like a Falcon starting to make a little bit of ground on the outside of Rise On. And then Excellent, Kamsky and Vouvray last of all. About 1100 left to go. Mr. Celebrity is the leader by a length to Portland Singer second. 1 Umbula. Eye-Popper a handy fourth. The outside a length Bazell. Being followed at the 1,000 metre mark then by Lachlan River and Strasbourg together. Next, Gray's in, starting to make some ground from Envoy, and further back is Demerger, 2 lengths Distinction. They're trailed then by Railings and Kinjal, Vinnie Rowe. Makybe Diva still well back on the inside as they come to the turn, followed by Dizel, Rise On, Hugs Dancer, Vouvray, Excellent and Kamsky towards the end. Like a Falcon coming around them, and Franklin's Gardens has dropped out. 500 left to go, coming around the home turn now. Portland Singer got to the lead from Mr. Celebrity. Eye-Popper's running on, and then Strasbourg. Back behind those horses now as they come down the straight was Vinnie Rowe, and back behind them here's Makybe Diva. A nation roars for a hero. She's starting to wind up. 300 left to go now. Makybe Diva's racing up. Envoy's trying to go with her. They've got to Portland Singer and Lachlan River. Here comes Like a Falcon and Excellent, but Makybe Diva clear with 100 metres to go. Excellent runs to second. Olazern runs on, but a champion becomes a legend. Makybe Diva has won it from either Olazern, Excellent, Like a Falcon is close up, and just behind those horses then was Lachlan River.
And they're off. Drum taps began well to a big roar from the crowd. Cavalieri dropped in behind them with Great Vintage. Silk Harley began fast. Vintage Crop was away smartly as just behind them. Drum taps going forward. So is Maracas and Young Pirate. Just behind them is Frontier Boys. They settle down. Our Pompeii working across the field. So is the Phantom. Fra is the widest runner heading towards the front now. Castletown, Mercator and Diamond Bases settling towards the rear. But they're pretty tightly bunched with the Caulfield Cup winner Fra at the 400 the first time. Working over to the rail in front of Maracas. Running third is the Phantom on the outside. Just behind them is Tiakau Nick going forward, and then Drum Taps and Vintage Crop together. Our Tristolite around them, and they're followed further back. Our Pompeii, Silk Harley pulling his head off on the inside from Young Pirate, Slight Chance. Frontier Boy is next, followed by Field Officer, and then Tennessee Jack. Ultimate Aim is next, followed by Cavalieri. Sub-Zero well back on the inside, and then Air Seattle inclined to reef a little bit at the post the first time. Next, Great Vintage, Dancing Lord, followed Castletown. The Sydney Cup winner Azama's third last. Diamond Bases and Mercator are the last two. Out of the straight to the riverside now, and Tiakau Nick at work to the lead from Frontier Boy. Fra from near the outside has settled on the rail third. The Phantom is fourth on the outside. One Maracas inclined to pull a bit here. They're followed by Drum Taps, well placed. Our Tristolite caught three wide as she was in the Caulfield Cup. 2 lengths to Vintage Crop, Silk Harley and our Pompeii together. One further back in the field came Young Pirate, and then Slight Chance, followed by Tennessee Jack on the rail. Then Frontier Boy, Sub-Zero, Ultimate Aim and Great Vintage. Further back as Cavalieri, Dancing Lord the rail. A length and a half further back as Air Seattle, Mercator. Second last is Castletown, and 2 or 3 lengths last of all is Diamond Bases. They've gone past the halfway mark, less than 1,600 to go in the Melbourne Cup, and Tiakau Nick is the leader from Frontier Boy. Fra is 2 lengths away, having a lovely run, so too the Phantom on his outside. A length and a half Maracas, who's still fighting the rider. Drum Taps travel sweetly next on the outside. They're followed by Silk Harley, with those as Vintage Crop and our Tristolite. A length and a half to Tennessee Jack, our Pompeii, Young Pirate. Further back is Sub-Zero. Last year's winner in about the middle of the field on the rail from Slight Chance. Back behind those horses then in the field, a length and a half away is Dancing Lord and Great Vintage, Ultimate Aim. Back behind those, Field Officer about the middle of the field. Further back in the field then came Cavalieri, Mercator, Azam. Well back, coming up passing the 800 metre mark now is Air Seattle and Castletown, and last of all is Diamond Bases. Frontier Boy raced up to Tiakau Nick. They're in search of the home turn, and 2 lengths further back is the Phantom. Further back in the field is Fra, hard ridden. Then Drum Taps under some pressure. Maracas over on the fence when they sweep into the straight now. Tennessee Jack with a run, and our Pompeii out wider. Tiakau Nick turned in front of Frontier Boy. 2 lengths, Maracas third. Then came Fra, the Phantom down the outside, followed by Vintage Crop coming with a run now, and Tennessee Jack on the outside. Tiakau Nick still in front at the 300. Led Frontier Boy a length and a half further back. Vintage Crop, he's coming home, the Irish galloper. Tiakau Nick is in front of Frontier Boy. Vintage Crop is a danger, and Great Vintage is late. Tiakau Nick, but Vintage Crop has got him. Vintage Crop, the Irish horse will win the Melbourne Cup. Vintage Crop, 2 lengths. Tiakau Nick just held second. Mercator flashed up for third. Fourth, Great Vintage a gap. Frontier Boy, Tennessee Jack.
And they're off and running in the 1983 Melbourne Cup to the roar of the crowd, and down on the inside Larkacott jumped out well with Kiwi, who began well, and so did Triumphal March and Azar's Commander. Dropping in behind the Bianco Lady, and they're followed by Kia Murray and Mr. Jazz, and going very quickly on the outside to head them off is Combatter as they race onto the course proper, and Combatter's taken over to lead by 2 lengths to Larkacott on the inside of Bianco Lady.
They're followed closely in the field over on the outside by Mr. Jazz, and just in behind them Triumphal March as they run down the straight past the 400er. It's Combat by 3 lengths to Larkacott over on the inside of Bianco Lady, a length to Kiamare, who's over on the fence just behind them Triumphal March. Close handy is Mr. Jazz, a length to Mark Bogle on the outsider, and a bit further back in the field just in behind them is Just a Dash, followed by Noble Commenter. At the head of the others came High, a length to No Peer, followed by Hussar's Command in English Wonder on the outside of Noble Heights. Veloso over on the fence now, and he was followed by Nostradamus. Fountain Court a bit further back as they go past the judge from Shainua. Then Shagamar, who's running about 6 last on the outside of Mevron Boy. Toujours Mio's well back in the fielder, and he was followed by Homemade Amaranth as second last, and Kiwi is last of all. Combat is going very hard in the leader along the riverside of the track, and Combat's opened up a lead of about 5 lengths on Bianco Lady. 2 lengths further back is High up on the outside of Larkacott, a length and a half to Mark Vogel. Back along the inside is Kiamare, 2.5 lengths away as Triumphal March, a length into Mr. Jazz. 1 length further back to Noble Commenter, then Just a Dash, followed by Hussar's Command, a length away No Peer, 2 lengths Veloso on the inside of English Wonder. Going up 3 deep as Noble Heights, there followed by Nostradamus on the inside of Fountain Court, a length and a half to Shainua. Further back was Homemade, followed by Mevron Boy, who's racing over on the inside. Well back in the field, Shagamar. Toujours Mio, followed by Amaranth, who's next to last, and Kiwi is last of all. Along the back they travel with about 1,500 metres left to go. And Bianco Lady moved up on the outside to tackle Combat. They're out by 5 lengths to High, and they were followed by Larkacott over on the inside, a length and a half then to Mark Vogel. He's followed by Kiamare in a strung out field, 2.5 lengths away as Triumphal March, 2 lengths to Mr. Jazz. They're followed closely by Noble Comment, a length and a half to Just a Dash, taking closer order. No Peer was next on the outside of Hussar's Command, 1.5 below, so English Wonder, followed by Noble Heights, Nostradamus, Fountain Quarter, and then a gap further back is Homemade, followed by Shainu from Shagamar, well back to Toujours Mio, and they were followed by Mevron Boy, and a good long way back is Kiwi, and a bad last is Amaranth. They're coming up the side, 900 metres left to go. Bianco Lady has taken the leader with High and Hot's Pursuit, and on the outside coming around them quickly is Kiamare, and they're followed by Combat, and round the outside of the picture is Triumphal March, Noble Comment, Veloso, and further back in the field then around the outside came Homemade, followed by Fountain Quarter, and they're bunching right up on the home turn. Many chances now. Mark Vogel is tackling Larkacott down on the inside. Kiamare is there, and so is Triumphal March, and finishing very fast now down the outside. Mr. Jazz is coming home very hard, and they're followed by Toujours Mio, Veloso, Fountain Court, followed further back by Just a Dash. 250 metres left to go. Kiamare being tackled by Mr. Jazz and Noble Comment. Mr. Jazz on the outside, Noble Comment the centre, Kiamare. No Peer running on. Noble Comment on the inside, and Mr. Jazz. Noble Comment takes the lead. Kiwi will beat them all. It's come from last. Kiwi's won the Melbourne Cup. A blistering performance. Kiwi coming from second last to beat Noble Comment and Mr. Jazz in the Melbourne Cup.